Do you want to talk about PFL?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't watch PFL last night, but I did catch like the gist of what happened. Um, so we got six matchups here, October 27th. We got three returning champions. Kayla Harrison obviously is going to try to become the first PFL fighter to win back-to-back championships, but I guess Ray Cooper could also do it on the same night. Ray Cooper against Magomedkerimov in their rematch from their 2018 finals bout. Honestly, for me, the fights that I'm most looking forward to on this, uh, I think, yeah, Ante Delaya against Bruno Capoloza, uh, Croatian brawler Ante Delaya. He comes into this in a rematch against Bruno Capoloza, who knocked him out in 46 seconds in his PFL debut back in May. Brazilian heavyweight, 3-0 in PFL. He's run through the majority of the competition that's been put in front of him. His last loss was against Yuri Prochazka, who's probably going to be the light heavyweight champion in the UFC at some point. And then Delaya, like I said, Croatian brawler. He's coming off that impressive win against Denis Goltsov, where he kind of just lulled Goltsov into a super boring clinch fest. And yeah, like I said, Delaya 3-1 since coming in to the PFL. His only loss coming against Capolozo, where he just got absolutely starched in less than a minute. And I think that while Delaya, one of the toughest fighters in the PFL heavyweight division, his toughness, willingness to step forward will be a detriment to his success in this fight against the ultra aggressive and hard-hitting Capoloza. This fight should likely go the exact same way that it went the first time, and probably ends with Capoloza knocking him out within like 2 minutes or less. I imagine he's going to be lined as just an absolutely massive favorite in this fight. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Capello's is going to do him up pretty badly. Um, I got Capello's at like minus 188 in his last fight. I feel like that was kind of a gift. I would make him a way heavier favorite over Jamel Jones if they fought again. Just he wasn't able to really to take him down. Just obviously couldn't stand with him at all on the feet, and pretty easy win for Capelloza. I feel like he's just going to do up Ante Delija and knock him out in this one. I don't know. I feel like it's an easy one to break down.
Yeah, I'm super interested to see what the line's going to be. Delaya has been super durable. Kind of just like gets beat up and ends up winning by decision. That's just the type. He's like the Croatian Shogun Hua. He's just a brawler who's able to just he's just got such good durability that he like weaponizes his durability. But that's not going to work against Capoloza.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Capoloza is going to run right through him, and yeah, I can see Bruno Capoloza being like a minus 600 favorite in this fight. Speaking of minus 600 favorite, Kayla Harrison, it'd be way bigger than
try minus 2,500 or something like that.
try minus 6,000.
Yeah.
So she'll come in to try to get her second PFL title against Taylor Guardado. Guardado, impressive amateur MMA career, took a super long layoff before making her professional MMA debut last year. She had an unsuccessful Invicta FC debut, and then she came to the PFL. She's put together 3 straight wins, all by decision, against the very shallow women's lightweight division in the PFL. And then what can you say about Kayla Harrison? 2-time judo Olympic gold medalist. She's made short work of every single opponent that they've put in front of her, except for one, who she won by decision against twice, and could have fought her again, but she ended up missing weight. So 11-0 in her career. This will be absolutely much of the same. Guardado has shown decent wrestling, but it will absolutely be no match against, the superior grappling and just skills of Harrison. And apart from her deadly grappling game and apart from her deadly submission game, she's got a swift, her ground and pound has just gotten better and better and better. And she's turning into like female Habib. And she's very vicious with her ground and pound. And that's how she's going to win this fight. She's going to win this fight very easily, similar to how she did her last one against Jenna Fabian. It should be easy work. I don't see Taylor Guardado having any answer to this. And what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's another easy one to break down. Even probably the easiest that you'll ever have to do. But I mean, yeah, I'll give some credit to Taylor Guardado. She's pretty decent. Like you mentioned, the amateur career, Raquel Pennington, she beat Amanda Bell, Ashley Evans Smith. One loss was to Ronda Rousey, so not too much to complain with there. And I mean, I picked her every time until she was supposed to fight Larissa Pacheco. I got Pacheco at -250. I think that was an absolute gift of a line, like a complete gift. I thought she was like, that's not even a competitive fight in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
If I'm saying that's not competitive, you can imagine what I think about this one. So I think Kayla Harrison gets it done without breaking a sweat.
Yeah, with that said, I honestly thought that Guardado was going to lose badly to Maria Moraes, and she looked good. I mean, she didn't look good, but she looked better than Moraes.
Yeah.
And I just, I don't even think, like, if you think about it, like, just do some MMA math. Like, I don't even think that Guardado would be able to cut it in Bellator, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. She would be good in like LFA or in like the regionals, like the upper level regionals, but like she's definitely not UFC material. She's definitely not. I don't know, maybe Bellator prelims, but then you put her up against Kayla Harrison, man. It's going to be a non-event. I don't think that she gets out of the first round. Unless,
I would be shocked.
Yeah. So the lightweight fight, Loic Radzhabov against Haushman Fio. This is the one guy who gets to the finals off of, he almost got robbed in that first fight against Alex Martinez, comes back, wins the rematch, and then he's going against Haushman Fio, who's arguably won by decision in controversial fashion in almost at least two of his three fights. He's won questionable decisions. I guess the Pettis one, I think he won that, but you could definitely make an argument against it. And then against Clay Collard, Haushman Fio did not win that fight. And this should be like Loic Radzhabov against Clay Collard. And but it is what it is. Haushman Fio, Loic Radzhabov, he comes in, I think, his second PFL appearance. He's hoping to make good on his second chance. He lost to Nathan Schultz back in 2019, and then finds himself again against Haushman Fio, who's a training partner of Nathan Schultz. Manfio comes in 3-0 since making his PFL debut. Like I said, all three by decision. Picked up that controversial split decision win over Clay Collard. So the way I see it, Radzhabov does have a decent skill set, but he's another guy. He goes to decision a lot. He has that one. He had that one very quick knockout. But besides that, I feel like he's gone to decision in like 7 of his last 8 or something like that. And Manfio, though he has shown ability to exceed the expectations on numerous occasions, if this fight, I feel like the longer this fight goes, the more, I can actually see Manfio winning this fight by yet another terrible decision because
God, no.
Radzhabov it falls off a cliff. His cardio is quite bad, and we've seen him get gassed in 3-round fights, and if this goes the 5-round distance, I feel like this is one of those fights where Radzhabov could be up like 2-1 going into the fourth, and Manfio's just his durability and his conditioning wins the fight. This is one of those fights where I feel like the better condition guy wins, because I feel like this one has fight goes the distance written all over it, or over written all over it, because Radzhabov, I know he's gone the distance in a ton of his fights, and he's another guy that's just a split decision machine. This fight has terrible decision written all over it, or I think Radzhabov's going to be like a -270 favorite or something like that, -300, -275 in that range. Honestly, I would like to see Radzhabov win this fight, but I would not be surprised if Manfio picks up a decision. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Manfio, it just seems like he can't lose when it goes to the scorecards. It's like it doesn't even make sense. The Luderbach fight, that one was like, could have argued that Luderbach won that one. That was close. Pettis, I kind of agree with you. He probably won that one if I took the time to watch it back, which I didn't. And then the Clay Collard one, it's like, I mean, I feel like Clay Collard won that one relatively clearly. I don't really think that highly of Hausch Manfio, but he somehow always finds a way to pull it out. I think that is going to stop here, though, with Loic Radzhabov. I just think Radzhabov is there's going to be a fairly decent skill gap between these guys. I feel like Radzhabov is just quite a bit better than him, if I'm being honest, and I think he's just going to be able to take him down and secure a victory. I could see it being close, though.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, you don't want to give it to these you don't want to let these judges dictate it, and Radzhabov has been known to fall off a cliff. I'll have to go back and watch that Schultz fight. I believe that fight went the distance. I got to see him in a 5-round fight, because he's notoriously even in that first Alex Martinez fight, it looked like he was, kind of falling off a cliff in the later rounds. I agree. I think he is the better skilled fighter, but I just feel like this just has stupid PFL underdog decision win written all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll be the only one that's like that. Probably the main event, right, will be Ray Cooper III and Magomedkerimov. This is PFL welterweight championship, the rematch. Cooper is returning as the 2019 PFL champion, and then taking on the 2018 PFL champion in Magomedkerimov. They met in the 2018 finals. I believe they were supposed to meet again at another point in 2019, and they didn't because of an injury. I feel like with this fight, although Cooper pretty much dominated in their first meeting, I think Cooper's definitely gotten a lot better since then. And I feel like this fight, I feel like Magomedkerimov probably wins more times than not, but I have to see the line, because I do feel like there's a solid chance that this fight goes the distance. And if it does go the distance, I wouldn't be shocked if Cooper edged out Kirimov somehow, depending on how this fight is lined. Like if Cooper is in that crazy like plus 200 range, I might have to take a look at it. But yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one to call. I feel like Magomedkerimov wins this fight like six and a half, six or like 65% of the time, basically. So, I feel like there might be some value on Ray Cooper if they set this line a little bit too wide, but I feel like this one's got fight goes the distance written all over it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I actually really like Ray Cooper III. I don't know if I like him to win here, but as a fighter, I like him. I picked him against Rory, picked him against Alex Shakin, and he comes hard. He doesn't come to play around. He is very good at implementing that game plan. If there's even a little chance that he can do it, a lot of times he can get it done. Magomedkerimov is a different animal. like you said, obviously, I think Ray Cooper's going to be a lot better in this one than he was in their first matchup. But Magomedkerimov is really good. And although I feel like the last two, obviously that thing with his knee happened in the Curtis Millender fight. And then, I don't know, just something about him in that Sadabusi fight I just didn't like. I had money on him, and I sort of was sweating. I mean, I felt like he won, but at the same time, it wasn't really as one-sided as I kind of hoped it would be. So I don't know. Something looks like there's something up with him a little bit, but I am going to take him to beat Ray Cooper. Like you said, I just think he wins it more times than he loses it. But Ray Cooper definitely could get a win here. I wouldn't be shocked to see Ray Cooper win.
Yeah, it's hard to even have a gut call. This is a great fight. Like, this is definitely, like, I don't know what else is going on that weekend, but this is definitely has a chance to be like the fight of the weekend for sure.
Yeah, I think they definitely make this the main event.
Oh yeah, 100%. The other two, yeah, you'll have to help me with the other two. Chris Wade, right? Chris Wade takes on Movlid Kayla. I definitely butchered that one. Yeah, this one, I feel like Chris Wade is coming off that upset victory over Bubba Jenkins on Friday night. You know, getting that chance into the finals, 8-3 in the PFL. He had a 5-2 record in the UFC before coming to the PFL in 2018. You know, good wrestling, good kickboxing, good jiu-jitsu. You know, he's got a sharp, rounded game, and that's basically how he got himself to the finals. But his luck streak will end against this Dagestani Khaybulaev. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I think he's going to be no match for this guy. Just from what I've seen from him, based on Chris Wade and the Dagestani, he's gonna. Yeah, I feel like this might be another non-event. I think Chris Wade's gonna get smoked here. What do you think?
I think it might be a little bit closer. Chris Wade looked really good against Bubba Jenkins. I was super impressed with him. I was on Bubba Jenkins, so disappointed to see the way it went down. But I mean, Chris Wade actually did, he looked great in that fight. Arman Ospinov, that fight was going pretty badly for him, pretty horrible actually, and then he ended up getting the knockout win. It was pretty surprising. And then the Anthony Dizzy fight that he also won, the first round did not look good for Chris Wade there. I agree with you that I think Movlid Khaybulaev is going to win this one. I think that he's just better. I mean, I thought Loughnane had half a chance against him. Khaybulaev looked pretty good there. And yeah, I think he finishes Chris Wade's run here. And yeah, I feel like Khaybulaev is just the side in this one. And we might actually get a reasonable line on him just because Chris Wade looked pretty good against Bubba Jenkins. He's obviously a good wrestler. But yeah, ultimately, I think Khaybulaev gets this one done.
Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, if they give even a slightly reasonable line, I'll be all over Khaybulaev here. Like, he hasn't lost. He's got just one draw in the PFL since coming in.
That no contest Daniel Pinedo where he got smoked in I think it was 30 seconds or something. It got overturned because Pinedo was on gear, but that's the one time that he, lost, quote unquote.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, he's the one knock obviously is that he wasn't able to finish Brendan Loughnane, and then the one judge gave Loughnane somehow gave him one of the scorecards
which
on
was
Friday
crazy.
night. Just absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, Khaybulaev, this dude, from what I've seen from him, I'll have to go back and watch Chris Wade and Bubba Jenkins. But apart from what I saw in the Loughnane fight, everything else that I saw from this guy, because yeah, he kind of looked out of sorts a little bit. I don't know exactly what it was, but I'll have to go back and look. Yeah, my gut opinion here is that Khaybulaev just destroys him, because from what I saw, he was just he's what can I say? He's just a Dagestani wrestler, And all of these guys, like the second generation of these guys, all have superior striking to like Khabib's generation. So like this guy is he's I don't know. I think he has way more paths to victory to win than Chris Wade does. So I'm gonna be back in the Dagestani in this one. And then the other one, this is another. It's interesting. I feel like there's what is there? So I think there's 3 fights on this. There's only 2 really. Ray Cooper and Magomedkerimov, Loic Radzhabov and Haushman Fio. Although you can even make an argument that Radzhabov Manfio like is not going to be that competitive, because I feel like Antonio Carlos Jr. and Martin Hamlet is not going to be that competitive either. While Hamlet has shown improvements since coming into the PFL, I feel like he's taking on one of the most undersold fighters in this promotion in Antonio Carlos Jr. And I feel like Antonio Carlos Jr. is going to make pretty short work of Hamlet. I like what I've seen from him. I feel like this guy has had a resurgence since coming into the PFL. Lost a fight in the UFC in early January and just left the UFC and has come in and looked great. Honestly, Antonio Carlos Jr. and Martin Hamlet, I feel like he's good, but he's a PFL fighter. That's basically as good as I can put it. There's a huge gap, I think, in talent here. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Antonio Carlos Jr. has looked really good lately. I actually kind of liked Emiliano Sordi at plus money when he was like plus 160, plus 155 for the last match. I didn't bet it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there is a big skill gap between Martin Hamlet and Antonio Carlos Jr. Obviously, Hamlet, his experience isn't really great. He's been looking pretty good lately. I mean, he looked good against Corey Hendricks until he didn't. If you're getting choked up by Corey Hendricks like that after dominating him for the whole fight, like, I don't know. If Antonio Carlos Jr. just gets his back, like, even if Hamlet does look good in the 4th round, ACJ gets its back, like, I mean, it's probably going to be over. He got that really weird win over Cesar Ferreira where who even knows? I can't even remember what they said happened with that one. That was a weird, lucky win. If you bet Hamlet on that one, pretty much just got a free win. Yeah, I just think Antonio Carlos Jr. probably over 5 rounds probably submits him.
Yeah, that's exactly how I see it. I think he submits him. I think this is just ends up what's happening here is like when we start integrating these UFC fighters or gold medalist judo fighters into the PFL. The PFL isn't the UFC. It's not even Bellator. So a lot of these fighters that end up getting into the tournament, and the tournament is so random. I don't know. It's just so random that we see these weird matchups, and I feel like Antonio Carlos Jr. probably the best out of the light heavyweight field, but I don't think that Martin Hamlet is the second best fighter out of this field. So I feel like this might be a walkover. So yeah, that's basically how I see it. All right.